You know, as the warmer temperatures creep in, it's time to start thinking about sprucing up your home for spring. One of the easiest ways to do that is with a fresh coat of paint.
Yep, here's our home renovation expert Tom Garcia showing you how to paint like the pros.
Well, guys, you know, one of the most least expensive ways to renovate a room is with paint. But here's the issue, right? Look at all the different paint colors. I mean, there's literally thousands of paint colors, right? So where do you go? What do you do? And that's why I love places like Sherwin Williams we're at this morning, because they provide that type of guidance. The work's kind of been done for you in terms of that thinking process. Look over here. This is a family of colors and different palettes of looking for different styles and themes that you may want to do. Here's if you're looking for coastal colors, maybe you want to do a coastal room. These are all the colors that live in that family. And here's some neutrals, here's some rustic, here's some luxury kind of colors. So it's wonderful to have this type of guidance. In addition, even more than that, are other aspects. These little books here are just wonderful. If you just want to brighten up a small space, here's the way to do it. And it gives you wonderful guidance in here on different colors and how to accent some spaces and give you guidance. Again, you can get an interior designer to do this type of work for you, but you can also try to do this yourself by coming in and getting these little books. Again, open areas. These are all free and they provide wonderful guidance in all the different areas. So when you're thinking about the home this weekend and you want to refresh it up for spring, think about paint. Again, it's the least expensive way to dress up that room. Back to you guys.
That is the best. As soon as you walk in, a fresh coat of paint changes the whole room.
Absolutely.
And if you have any questions or ideas for Tom, all you have to do, drop him an email. Easier done
Don't
than
drop
said.
him, just drop him an email instead.
Tom,
yes,
like a bad habit.
You can reach him at tom@southernevergreen.com.
It's spring, and that means it's time to start your home improvement projects. And if you're like me, you dread the honey-do list, especially if it involves painting. But don't worry, our home renovation expert Tom Garcia is here to the rescue.
As we go about painting, you know, the tools of the painting, they're really critical. And we know all about rollers, right? We talk about rollers, but here's the thing to realize about your roller. It's the size of the nap of the roller. It's really the thickness here in the roller itself. That's what makes a difference as a type of finish that you'll get onto wall. Generally, you'll want to use like about a 3/8 inch nap. But if you want something that's more textured, then you're going to want to use a thicker nap, such as this one. Look at the thickness there in this nap. You can see how much more thicker it is than some of these here. So that's one way to get that look you may want of a smooth wall or a wall that's got more texture. And one of the other things that I love to tell our viewers all the time is about paintbrushes. So here's the thing. Don't skimp on the paintbrush. You know, these paintbrushes cost about $15, but this is the reason why. This type of brush, you can see it has this angled edge, and these bristles on the end are very fine. This is a perfect type of brush for cutting in when you need to cut in a fine line like that. And so that's why you want to spend a little more on your brush. You know, if you're just painting a wall, that's not one thing, but mostly you're going to use your brush when you're going around doors, trim, all that sort of things you need to cut in. And so don't skimp on the brush. Make sure you spend a little more, get a fine brush, and then you clean it, and it'll last for years.
And if you have any questions or ideas for Tom, you can email him at any time. It's tom@southernevergreen.com.
Painting, it's one of those quick ways to give the room a new life, any room really in your house. But our home improvement expert, Tom Garcia, has a few ideas to make that project less of a headache for you. So take a look.
You know, guys, one of the issues when we think about painting our homes is when to use oil-based paints, when to use latex. We've heard of those over and over again, but there are times when it's critical to use each. I've got Kevin Beck with me this morning. He's the manager here at Sherwin Williams. Kevin, let's talk about that. I have my hand. This is an oil-based paint. So our viewers will see this as oil-based, right? And then you've got a latex, which would be a water-based. So when do we want to use an oil versus a latex?
Typically we use oil base on trim where you need something a little bit harder finish, more impact resistant. And then latex typically is used on walls.
Now the one thing I love about latex, of course, is it's water soluble, so it's easy to clean up, easy to maintain the materials, all that. It's great for homeowners to do for themselves, right, in terms of using latex.
Yes. The water base has a lower odor to it and it leaves less brush marks and less roller marks, and overall is much easier to work with.
And one of the other things we may encounter, viewers, if they have children or such that maybe are real susceptible to the odors from paint, there's also a solution for that as well.
Yes, we do have a product called Harmony, which is a zero VOC product, which has a minimal amount of odor.
It's absolutely fabulous, so zero odor. So guys, there's the thing. So again, oil maybe on trim, latex on walls, and the Sherwin Williams product Harmony basically has low VOCs, called volatile organics, compounds, it basically you just can't smell the stuff. You put it right on and it's ready to go after it dries. Back to you guys.
All right, if you have any questions at all or ideas for Tom, all you have to do is drop him an email. Email him, tom@southernevergreen.com. Again, that's tom@southernevergreen.com.
It's time to spruce up your space just in time for the spring. Nothing says new like a fresh coat of paint. And this morning, Tom Garcia has a few tips for you. Take a look.
You know, guys, as we undertake these little projects of sprucing up our home and renovating, again, in the most least expensive way possible is with paint, there's great tools out there, kind of tricks that'll help us look like professionals even if we aren't. I've got Kevin Beck with me again this morning, Sherwin Williams. Kevin, one of the things I love are little shields like this with a brush. And folks need to know that if there's an area you're trying not to paint, just put a shield up against it, clean and pull that away, and now you've got a nice crisp line. And so little tips like this can really make a difference.
Yes, we also have a tool like the paint edger for someone that's just beginning. You can load this up with paint and then run it along the top to get a nice straight edge.
Again, you've got a straight edge here, so if you're going on baseboard or that sort of thing, just run it right across there and cut in nicely.
Yes, exactly.
Very good. And then the other one I love, this is the favorite of folks need to understand, this is the wonder tool of it all, and that's painter's tape.
Yes, you always want to tape off any areas that you don't want to get the paint, and then as soon as you get done painting that area, you want to make sure you pull that tape.
Absolutely, and just it leaves a wonderfully crisp line. Just set that tape first, and it's designed to, it's kind of like a sticky note, right? It just pulls right back off.
Exactly.
And the other thing that our folks need to know are using what are caulking tools. And I know caulking can be kind of a messy process, but these little guys are great. You just put it right in a corner like that, pull it clean. It'll make a nice crisp line as well.
Yes, and this tool here, you can actually rotate this nozzle here and get different angles on that. So depending, you get that nice crisp line of that caulking.
That's so important because we want to caulk before we paint, right? In between the trim and the walls and sort of around windows, that sort of thing. We always want to caulk that up.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. So guys, just a few of the tools. There's plenty more, but you can really look like a professional, even though you may not be. Back to you guys.
You don't want to make so many mistakes the first time that you have to do it all again anyway. So if you have any questions or ideas for Tom, all you have to do is email him. He's tom@southernevergreen.com.